Welcome to ASEAN BIZ, your only choice for business updates covering ASEAN countries. I'm Chia.
And I'm Chong.
And we bring you business news on everything that happens around the world that involves ASEAN countries. With us in the studio today is Mr. CP Tay, China, Philippines Tay, a veteran teacher for more than 20 years. And Mr. Tay is going to share with us his entrepreneurship journey from being an employee to becoming his own boss. Welcome, CP.
Welcome. Thanks, Andrew, and thanks.
Yes, our direct main story today is the entrepreneurship journey of a veteran teacher. But before that, let's take a look at our current business updates and on the topic of the US recession.
Yes, Eric, there are a lot of interesting topics going around recently, but we are not going to talk about that. We are not going to talk about Donald Trump flip-flopping in the US elections and Ted Cruz right now cruising to victory.
Yes.
Yes, we are not going to talk about the US.
And I think we are more concerned about what happens in the US. We are still talking about the US. Sorry to say that.
And we are not going to talk about our country's hot topic of Mahathir leading the way in signing a citizens' declaration to oust the current Prime Minister. We are not talking about that.
Okay, we are also not talking about El Nino or La Nina, which we experience our current heat wave at this moment in Malaysia, and I think the surrounding part of our Asian
country.
Very
important topics. But today we are going to talk about something equally interesting. That is the upcoming US recession.
So are we expecting a US recession? And how does that affect us?
Most people are not, Eric.
Because they still sees that the economy are robust in a way or not so robust.
Yes. Why we are actually talking about this topic is that there's an outstanding personality by the name of Jim Rogers who says that the probability of the US going into recession within the next 12 months is 100%.
Wow. And I know, and if you guys in the business industries or the financial industries would have know who is Jim Rogers is. And Jim Rogers is actually his George Soros investment partner.
Okay. Somebody we should listen to, isn't it?
Yes. And these are the guys who always keep a track on the economics, world economics, even the currency movements, everything, political issues, whatever.
What are his reasons for saying that the US is going into recession?
Well, first of all, his reason is that the last recession was in 2008. It's now 8 years now. It's almost overdue. Okay. Country always goes into a slowdown in 4 to 7 years. It's a bit overdue now.
Yes.
And I believe that some of the economists says that normally an economic cycle is about 10 years.
Some people say 5 years,
5 years,
people
10
say
years,
4 to 7 years.
I think in the Chinese calendar it's 12 years.
That is the animals or astrology.
Yeah, well, I mean astrologically is affect the economic.
Yes, and our guest CP is also involved in trading in commodities and futures. Therefore, he's also up to date on the world business and global finance scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay. CP, I'm sure you have something to chip in about when the next recession in the US or the global recession is going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. In my opinion about Jim Rogers, that he's always very outspoken, as we all know, right?
Yeah.
So, but to say it's 100% that US going to go into recession is like, you are giving us that kind of certainty. In market, there's no certainty. That is my opinion, yeah. All right.
Okay. Yes, and CP has been trading the commodities like crude oil, gold.
Not really gold, but I'm more into palm oil, futures palm oil.
Okay.
And during the recent few months, we have actually seen this kind of commodities price dropping.
Correct.
Especially on crude oil. But these 2 days it have been rise quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, since last week it have risen about $3 per barrel. So in this way, I'm not too sure it's a good sign or bad sign.
Yeah, the markets have been quite volatile. I was telling CP just now that the year 2016 started with a 20% drop in most major markets. But within a month or so, it has now recovered and is stronger than ever.
Besides that, another observation by Jim Rogers is that the US debt is staggering.
Yeah, very high debt, more than 100% of their GDP.
Right, and most of Wall Street's analysts sees the probability at only in 1 in 3 chances.
That means 30% probability. He says it's 100%. That means most people don't believe him.
Well, I mean, those who at the Wall Street will definitely need to paint so-called positive picture, isn't it?
Otherwise, nobody buys shares.
Otherwise, the share markets will be flying all over the place.
Yeah, by the way, guys, let's backtrack a little bit. In case some of us don't know what is the definition of a recession. A recession is a consecutive 2 quarters of negative growth in economy. That is the definition of a recession. Generally accepted lah.
Yes, and I believe that we have shared that information during our very, very early part of our ASEAN
yes,
BIZ
we even shared
shows.
a joke. What's the difference between a recession and a depression? Since CP is here today, let's share that joke with him again. CP,
sure.
do you know what's the difference between a recession and a depression? Besides the spelling.
I think if it's that's really a recession, we will be depressed,
You're almost right. The
But what is the
actual
joke?
correct answer is during a recession, your friends lose their job.
Okay.
During a depression, you lose your job.
Okay, that is a joke. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So,
when you lose the job, your wife will
You'll
be
be
depressed.
You and your family will be depressed. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Which means a recession is not so bad. Maybe you still have your job.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
That's a layman's definition lah.
Okay. And further to that, Jim is also not sure what may trigger the recessions, but cited, as usual, China, Japan, and the Eurozone as possible channels of contagion.
That means these countries or these regions might trigger off a US recession.
And
That's what he's saying.
And during this recent year, we has observed that China is actually been the target of US. Whatever things, they will start to blame China.
Politics.
Politics, even
Correct.
politics, or whatever, they start to blame China.
Humans must blame somebody or someone or something, isn't it? You know?
Yes. And then there are already many signs that the US economy is fumbling right now. Okay, maybe Andrew will just highlight what are the US economy.
That's what Jim was
signs they are
saying. The unemployment is bad, the debt is staggering, and not much has actually improved in terms of the system and the administration of the economy since the previous 2008 subprime crisis. That's why it's bad. The figures don't add up, but the sentiments are still good lah.
And not sure
Especially
whether
right now,
they are planning for another QE this year.
there's been QE all along.
But however, Jim is long on the dollar. Okay, this is the trick. He says, if other parts of the world are crushing, people might put their money on the dollar, and it might even turn out to be a bubble.
Yes.
Right? So it's a warning sign. Just read between the lines. What is it all about?
Long the dollar means it's betting on the dollar.
Betting on the
probably
dollar
on a
to
certain-
strengthen against major currencies.
Yes.
But it
during a
will
short
be
period.
short-lived. And during this recent few days, we actually sees the US dollar fluctuating so much that it's strengthened for one moment and weakened the other moment.
It's a volatile market.
So
right now.
volatile that already a lot of people loses money, including myself.
And if Jim Rogers is right, commodity prices might drop because the US dollar strengthens, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're involved in commodities or trading, you better watch out for some development like this. And especially now we talk about ASEAN. We are ASEAN BIZ under Durian ASEAN, right? So whatever happens, what is the impact on our countries here? All the 10 countries in ASEAN.
Right. And actually, we look at in the ASEAN regions, I would say all the commodities are priced in US dollars. Right. And should the US face with recessions, definitely the commodity prices will be affected, and demand for commodities might even be affected. So in this way, the business who are exporting to US and Europe may have to consolidate instead of expanding.
Yeah, if you are manufacturing and selling a lot of things to Europe or US, in case something bad happens, they have a flu or they sneeze, then your business might be affected. So you guys got to be careful. Don't expand or over expand and borrow so much loan to expand your business, just in case.
Right. And I believe that during this recent month, we have seen quite a lot of businesses folding up even in our regions. And a lot of businesses actually quite reluctant to expand at this moment
Yes,
as well.
2016 is still quite a bad year despite the fluctuations and the volatility.
Especially in our home country. Right.
Great,
Right.
guys. Yeah, we'll be back shortly with more interesting updates on ASEAN BIZ. Stay tuned, guys. Welcome back, folks. Before we bring on our main story for this edition, Eric is going to share with us his funny business moment, and the title of his story today is "Oh shit."
Okay, Andrew. Right. There's these three guys, Jim, Scott, and Alex, are tired after traveling all day and they check into a hotel. When they get to the reception, they found out that they have to walk 75 flights of stairs to get to their room because the elevator is out of order. Jim suggested that they do something interesting to pass time while they walk the stairs. Jim will tell jokes, Scott will sing songs, and Alex will tell sad stories. So Jim tells jokes for 25 flights, Scott sings songs for 25 flights, and Alex tells sad stories for 24 flights. When they reach the 75th floor, Alex has the last sad story to tell. Guys, I left our room key at the reception.
Let's say it together. Oh shit.
Shit.
This guy's already tired, going to drop dead.
Ah,
And this
then-
joker left his key. Okay. Thank you, Eric, for that funny business moment. Welcome back to the show, guys. You're listening to ASEAN BIZ, your only choice for business updates covering ASEAN countries. I'm your host, Andrew Chia, and together with me is Eric Chong, and we bring you business news on everything that happens around the world, which involves ASEAN countries. And today we have our guest, Mr. CP Tay, the headmaster of a new Center for Studies.
Okay.
Yes, Eric.
Yes, and the title of our Durian main story today is The Entrepreneurship Journey of a Veteran Teacher. So Mr. CP Tay is actually a veteran teacher, not in terms of age, but in terms of the duration he spent in the education or
Yes. Mr.
teaching
Tay
industries.
has been teaching for more than 20 years, right?
Yeah, about 25 years.
Can you
All right.
remember which year you started teaching?
1989. All right. If I have
Oh.
to include the before that we give tuitions during the uni.
More than 30 years
more-
lah.
It's about
It's more than 30
Yeah,
years.
it's
Even though
about
he's
30
still a very young man.
Yeah. I'm still very young. I'm still 40 plus.
We are all very young men. Okay. Right. So at this moment, Mr. Tay is actually running his own tuition center,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
correct.
maybe Mr. Tay can share a bit of what you teachers and
How
what
old are
sen-
your students?
My
CP?
students always 17, 18. So I always share a joke that my students never grow up. All right.
Ah,
So when I was very young, then I was about age of 22. So I was teaching 17 years old.
Ah,
right. Today
right.
I'm reaching 50. I'm still teaching at 17, 18 years
So
old.
similarly,
Ah.
to put it simply, Mr. Tay have not grown also.
Yeah,
he also
yeah,
remains
he-
at
He's
that
still
era.
18-year-old.
Yeah, it makes me feel very young actually. All right.
So actually, it's fun to mix
Yeah.
around with young guys
Correct,
or
correct.
young people. We make us feel younger, which I currently doing so often.
Yeah.
I mean
Actually,
now.
17 or 18 years old students are very old compared to the secondary or primary students, right?
Yeah.
They're
okay.
almost going to college or already in college.
Yeah, but I was this start that I actually focused in teaching those students after SPM.
I
So
see.
meaning to say that they are doing either STPM or A level. So
Right.
in the private, we're actually doing A level. So our focus of our center is actually to cater for those students coming for tuition, all right, or extra classes, all right, for those sitting for the Cambridge A level exams. All right.
So were you teaching at a college before?
Yeah. In fact, I have been teaching since I graduated at the age of 22 or 23. So it's a bit early. But then I have been actually teaching A level all this while. All right. So
In the
I'm
college?
Yeah, in the college, correct. So of course, a change of a few colleges. All right. So the last college I'm attached to is Taylor College, Subang Jaya. All right. So I was there about for 5 years. years before I started, all right, this tuition center. All right.
So what do you actually teach in your tuition center?
Okay, I am a maths graduate from University Malaya, local university.
So you teach mathematics?
Yeah, I teach mathematics.
Wow.
So I only focus in mathematics. In fact, I will say that I will rather teach those maths and also the further maths of A level. All right.
Right. So do you teach any other subject in your tuition center?
No, not in the
You're a
tuition
specialist in mathematics.
Yes, correct.
And further
Only-
mathematics.
Only further mathematics.
Great.
I always admire mathematicians.
Okay. Yeah.
And how they work out the formulas is truly amazing.
Yeah. It reminds me of mad scientists like Einstein.
Okay. So, currently, Mr. Tay, where is your tuition center?
All right. So, to start with, I will say that I was attached to Subang Jaya Taylor College. All right. It is actually as a SS15 Subang Jaya.
Very
All right.
happening place.
Yeah, very, very happening place. We
Lots
have
of colleges there.
Inti College is there. All right.
Yeah.
Sri KL is there. Right. Nearby, we have
And
a
not
Sunway.
far away is Sunway. Yeah.
Sunway, we have Sunway, we have a Sagi College. So a lot of students kind of happening things, all right. So and then I will, as I say, there's a lot of students over there. So which are actually they are looking for teachers, good teachers as a tutor, all right. So the location for my center is definitely nearby. So you have to be
walking
nearby.
distance from the
Yes.
colleges.
Correct.
So,
correct.
which
It's just
means
5 minutes.
your center is strategically located and give you that
Yeah,
advantage
yeah, correct,
to
correct,
expose
correct,
yourself to
yeah.
a bigger size market, which is very good.
Yeah.
You know? And what is it that you need to overcome when you start this business?
Okay, let's put it this way: is that being a lecturer myself or being a teacher all this while, I will say that it is so difficult for me to teach, to leave my full-time job. All right, okay, that is one obstacle.
Your full-time job is still a teaching.
Yeah, correct. But I now.
Employee.
Yeah, employed. All right. So it's
Yes.
that, of course, most of the lecturers, they after college, they do give tuitions and so on. All right. So supplement our very low salary, I would say. All right. So, but if you are saying about the center, I would say that we actually cater, as I say, for the students for those after college. So the location wise, the timing wise, and so on, I think what makes me to come out is because I think it's the passion in teaching. All right.
Yeah,
So
passion is very important.
Yeah, because I have been teaching for so many of the years, in and out for so many hundreds of.
You really enjoy teaching, right?
Yeah. I enjoy so much that I feel that it is, but somehow rather when you get old,
You still teach.
you teach. Is it?
I mean,
Right,
it's
yeah.
fun. It's fun in a sense that as one grows older,
Correct.
one should depart their experiences, their wisdoms, and their knowledge in terms of teaching, mentoring to the younger generation, which can be very helpful to our future generations, right? So, and in these instances, have you ever thought of leaving the industry, or because since now you are a businessman already, it's an entirely different ball game.
Yeah, you're no more a day job holder.
But I would say that I will still be in teaching line. All right, no matter what. I think it's part and parcel of me. All right, it is the passion, as I mentioned just now. It is in us. As being a teacher, it's so difficult for us to leave something that you love. All right.
Yeah.
So it may not be for the monetary sense. All right, but it's for the kind of joy of seeing your students learn from you. All right. So I may have, as I say, I have a center. All right, but I actually still teaching in the center.
Yeah,
Right.
doing the same job, but
Yeah.
now it's no more a job whereby you get salary. You don't get paid now.
You don't get paid
It's your
now. It's your business.
It's your own business. Yeah, CP, would you like to tell us how you feel that time when you were trying to make a decision to not get paid and to pay yourself?
Okay.
Were
Now,
you scared, excited, anxious?
very, very scared. Very scared.
Very scared. Oh.
Okay. Let me say a little bit about mindset of the lecturers. Teachers, as we all know, all right,
Scared.
we are very confined to classrooms.
Yeah.
We just face students with at the same age, as I say, or year in year out. We have actually do not have that kind of entrepreneurship kind of a mindset that we want to get out of the sort
Right.
of our employer. We feel scared. We want a kind of secure job.
That is normal.
So teachers are basically those people who want to have
Good sense of security.
Have the pay at the end of the month,
correct.
Wouldn't
And
security,
They know what they're doing.
Would not like to face the outside scheming and scamming kind of a business environment.
100% under control, end of the month you
It's
get
a
your pay.
control environment.
But we can't control a lot of things. So during the, for example, like the company's going to cut costs, college going to cut costs. This and that.
Right,
We can't control.
Yes, yes.
Right. Whenever time they have a meeting, so we have to go.
It's something like a false sense of security where you feel secured where you have a job, but in a sense that it's not very secured,
Yeah, but if you ask lecturers to come out and then say that, come, let's do in some
Oh, that
business.
sounds like very dangerous.
That is dangerous.
That is
That is a
dangerous.
bit too out of our comfort zone
Right,
for us,
it's
right?
true. And-
so, yeah.
And in fact, it happens to most people who are gainfully employed.
Yeah.
Yes, whether in the teaching
But I think
industries or
especially
whatever.
teaching.
Teachers
Of course,
are-
teachers
are
from
not so brave, isn't
from
it?
day one of their training, they have been confined inside the classroom.
Yeah.
The mentality is that they're already been confined in such a sense that the whole classroom is their world.
Yeah.
So anything outside does not matter to them.
Very, very scary.
Because business, you have so many variables. For example, what if you have no business, no students? What if the cost is so high? The rental is so high, and all these things makes you very
What if
scared,
the
right?
landlord keep increasing rental? And what if you have more students than you can handle without teachers?
Too much business also is a problem.
Also is a problem.
No business also a problem. So it makes you very scared.
I would like to emphasize again that just now I shared with Andrew is the manpower.
Yes.
It's a very
You
big
cannot teach
skill.
everybody by yourself.
Correct. You feel so scared. You still feel so scared. But I say, and then as I say, being a teacher, I have to change my whole total mindset.
Right.
I said, hey, you cannot be scared. Come on, let's do it. Right.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. I
You
started
conquer
with-
your fear.
Yeah, to focus in my mindset, I would say. All right, it is not the center or any businesses that we're going to run. It's actually basically it's in our mind. Okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve from whatever you're doing? You may not want to feel like I want to be my own boss. I don't want to be employed. But it's certainly that is good, but certainly it's not that easy. So we have to encounter our fear.
Right.
So when you took the bold step to launch out to become your own boss, did you encounter any sort of nasty surprises? You say, I didn't know this is going to happen. The rental is so high.
All the time.
Really? You mean was that
very
scary?
beginning,
The electricity bill is so high.
From the very beginning until today. I'm still facing that actually. All right. So to be honest, it's actually in the first step is the most difficult step. All right. The first step
To
in fact,
send in your resignation letter, is that?
that resignation letter actually is easy.
That is the easy
that was the easy part because you have decided because your mindset have decided that kind of thing. That is still okay. But the most difficult thing is the planning part because
Right.
in the very initial stage when you actually
you gotta plan.
I planned about 5 years ago or so.
that's
All right.
good.
So it takes a lot of efforts to convey the messages to your friends, my colleagues, also lecturers. All right, to be partners. All right,
right.
to make them trust
Yeah.
you. All
Right,
right, to make
yeah.
you trust you that you can work, and also to make them part of the business so that they can actually see it in a very different angle.
Yes,
And
they
that
say
is the
that
difficult part.
if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Correct, correct,
So
correct.
you did a lot of planning, right? So
Yeah.
did anything fall out of your planning or
A lot.
nasty
lot.
surprises?
As I say, it's very
Definitely.
interesting.
In entrepreneurship, especially the journey of entrepreneurship, you are full of surprises.
Yeah.
As you
Excitement.
should. That's why entrepreneurship with the ship behind. When you are the ship, you are at the ocean, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah,
but
correct.
Mr. Ted, maybe our listeners will be just curious a bit. What makes you make that decisions to come out? Is it because of the money or do you have a noble objective?
Okay, let's be
Let's talk beside
Yeah.
money.
correct.
The
Beside
main
money.
factor.
What is the
Yeah.
main factor, your noble objective of this
Yeah.
particular ventures?
Of course, I would like to say that because first of all, as I say I'm in the teaching line because I love my subject. All right, so I love maths very much since like I was in the secondary. I love maths very much, and then it's very natural for me to graduate and then the major in maths. all right, come out and to teach maths, all right. So it sounds natural, but it's inside me as I know it. So on the part of on the part of a teaching part, all right, I will say that okay, what can I do besides just in a college for say 20 years?
Right.
Can I do something else? Can I do something extra as much more in the way of challenging? Yeah, correct. That is a good word. All right. So I would like to say that I challenge myself. I say that look, there's a lot of people giving tuitions out.
I can become more than just a teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just beside teaching. Okay, we still teach. All right, but it's a sort of extra. Well, I was also I'd like to point out that the one college we have about 20 plus lecturers itself teaching mathematics.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Okay. In our college, we have 20 plus. So you try to think of it this way: is that not every lecturers are experienced. All right. Okay.
Yes,
to be honest. All right. Some are very new. They need time. All right. To develop.
Yes.
All right. So some of the students may want to look for those very very good lecturers. All right. So I was thinking about if I can have a center of all the good lecturers is being a sort of collected.
Yes.
Right, in the center, right? Then the students will have a quality kind of.
I understand that in every college or university, students have their most popular lecturers for every subject.
For every subject.
Correct.
So in this instance, do you see that when you are under employment, you are confined by the policies and the way things run and to be teach?
Yeah.
Right. How you going to teach? You are confined to that, and by coming out, do you see that you are going to innovate certain kind of teaching methods that helps the students to learn much better or much more faster in a sense that like we have known quite a number of tutors or teachers also.
Correct.
They themselves see that certain syllabus or certain guidelines is actually not to the expectations of how things to be taught.
Yeah.
And in this sense, they come up with their own innovative method to actually teach us certain subjects.
Yeah.
So in this sense, do you see that as one of your driving motive?
It can be. Okay, now let enlighten everyone about the syllabus. Now, in Malaysia, or even as they say it's in England, all right, the Cambridge A-level in this case, is very exam-oriented. Let's put it this way, is that result is everything.
Yes,
right?
that's the word.
So
that's the word.
That's the worst part. Right? Okay,
Normal.
Students are more interested whether how they can score in exams. You can't blame them because they want to apply to the uni, that kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Well, so they want that kind of results. So
and they want to make their parents happy.
That's
actually,
true. That's true.
The
That's true.
parents actually is another behind the force.
The driving force.
Yeah, correct. So you see, the college actually we have a set of syllabuses to finish between the certain range. It's not flexible. The flexibility is not there, all right? So as we all know that we have to cover a lot of things, and then it is difficult. But students are very exam-oriented. Now, why students go to tuition in the first place? Besides that, maybe their lecturers are not teaching well, or maybe they cannot understand the lesson in the class. It's because they want extra coaching. The extra coaching must come from something that is more related to the exams. So, being a practical student themselves, all right, students
to make sure they score A.
Correct.
Yes.
They want a last minute. A lot of students they have been playing around. They have a last minute kind of preparation. All right, so they come for tuition.
Yes,
all
and
right?
certain students are actually having difficulties in understanding syllabus or getting into their kind of mentality. And this I can say I personally experienced that because I'm a science student, and suddenly during the early days I got to change to study accounting. So inside the classroom, I can hardly grasp whatever accounting principles or the workings into my head. Then I have this friend he is a mathematician, and he actually comes and give me personal tuition to actually guide me along how to approach accounting problem from a mathematical point of view. And his methods definitely work. Just a few lessons, you can actually grasp the whole thing. So I believe that Mr. Tay will have that kind of intuitions to actually carry forward with his passion in mathematics to actually teach us different methods of looking things.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, CP. Besides talking about the operations and the teaching, how about the competition? Are there a lot of other tuition centers teaching what you are teaching right now nearby?
Okay. Before I started the tuition center, I would say that I done the survey. All right. Okay. So I was quite surprised actually. No? All right. So this was about 5 years ago. There's not much of there's no centers. There's no sort of I use the term legalized tuition center. There's a lot here and there, but it's not so-called legalized. All right. So the legalized center in the nearby this one. So that gives me an idea. Why not? All right, or why not?
Could it be the rental is too high to drive away there?
Various factors lah.
Yeah, various factors.
Probably they don't have good teachers.
Yeah, one of the thing is that because of the manpower, as I mentioned just now.
Right.
It's a manpower for all the subjects, and that is very,
And in
very
fact,
And I
for
believe
all
CP,
industries.
not many people dare to take the bold step to start a business, even
Correct.
though it's just a tuition center.
They say tuition center is a show win, but I can tell you the truth is not real necessary. Alright, but in the term of competition, because we only focus in A level, so at the moment, alright, so at the moment we are, I will say that we are certainly the best. Alright, so I have a collection of all the best, so-called popular and the best lecturers.
Wow.
Alright,
Okay.
so
What
this
a
is something
wonderful business.
correct. This is something that I'm quite very, very happy. Alright, that I have solved the most number one
CP,
issue.
I believe
manpower.
that is what every entrepreneur in the world looks forward to.
Correct,
Less or zero competition.
And I believe that zero competition is only in your dreams.
Yeah, there is always a competition. All right.
Yeah,
So,
like they say, if there's a beautiful char kway teow stall with good business, very soon you'll see 5 other stalls beside it.
Yeah, and if you look at the positive point of view, actually competition is good.
Good, yeah, it's
Competition brings the best out of you.
yeah, correct.
So I mean, it's how you look at things. But I believe that in your industries, competition is very,
Very
intense in a way. Right?
Yeah.
People are all fighting for students.
Yeah.
And,
Almost all lecturers actually.
CP
give
is a
tuition.
specialist. They might be fighting for all the other subjects, but mathematics is not everybody can
Yeah,
teach.
but the maths is very, very.
Yeah, it's
difficult,
very
yeah.
difficult thing. The moment I heard of it, I've already okay.
Great, guys. I think we shall take a short break now and be back with our guests shortly. Stay tuned, guys. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're listening to ASEAN BIZ, and our Durian main story today is the entrepreneurship journey of a veteran teacher. But before we continue with the concluding part of our story today, Eric will give us a quick health tip. Now, Eric is our health and fitness coach, and he runs a 100-kilometer marathon himself. His health tip story for today is the health benefits of dark chocolate.
Wow, I think the dark chocolate, or rather chocolate, is
Finally, you have something that I
is a
really
good
love.
is a food that everybody loves, but I don't believe that dark chocolate is everybody cups of tea. Okay, when we talk about dark chocolate,
As long as chocolate, I don't complain.
okay, but dark chocolate is a different kind of things. Dark chocolate, you are looking at 80% and above, right? A
And you mean it's healthy?
It's healthy.
Wonderful.
So
I
there are
can have
many
more.
numerous health benefits. Okay, first of all, dark chocolate has many health benefits. It's enriched with many health components that help to treat various common body ailments. Besides, this is one of the tastiest food on earth.
I agree to that.
You know, I think a lot of people agree on that. Based on a lot of research by a lot of scientific centers and even those in the food industries, dark chocolate actually reduce the risk of cancer and heart disease. Okay,
That's a
Dark
good reason.
First thing, dark chocolate is loaded with powerful antioxidants. The antioxidants present in the dark chocolate go after the free radicals in your system that can harm or damage the healthy cells of the body. They neutralize the free radicals and other dangerous molecules and thus prevent the body from cancer, premature aging, and heart diseases. Right. Then they regulate blood pressure. The magnesium and copper minerals present in the dark chocolates helps to regulate normal blood pressure and maintaining proper heartbeat levels. It lowers cholesterol. An ounce consumption of cocoa flavanol contained dark chocolates per day can reduce the bad cholesterol level in the human body significantly up to 12%.
So guys, if you're having a high cholesterol and stuff like that, eat more dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate, not the normal, not those that are sweetened
the
one.
normal one will increase it.
The normal one will increase it. And it's improved blood circulations. Dark chocolate can improve the blood circulations by making the blood vessels more flexible and also decrease the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. It reduces stress. Dark chocolate can reduce the stress level and give you a happy feeling by stimulating the production of
That means
endorphins.
when the boss asks you to do more work and increase your stress, ask him to pass you a bar
of
dark
chocolate. Okay, dark chocolate. Not have a Kit Kat.
Yeah, no Kit Kats.
No Kit Kat. Right. Act as an antioxidant. As I mentioned earlier, dark chocolate is loaded with antioxidants. It prevents premature aging and heart diseases.
Right.
So there are numerous factors, and it's an acquired taste to actually enjoy dark chocolate.
Pass me a bar.
Yeah, I enjoy it very much.
Right. Thanks, Eric, for that useful health tip.
Yeah, and
Let's
I even
continue.
goes to the 90% type.
Let's continue with our Durian main story today. That is the entrepreneurship journey of a veteran teacher, Mr. CP Tay.
Yeah, welcome back, Mr. Tay.
Thank you.
And in these sections, we actually look at the future.
Yeah, we have looked at the time.
Let's
when,
bring out the crystal ball.
CP was a teacher under employment, a day job holder, to the time he made his decision to become his own boss. And we have also talked about the obstacles that he faced and his daily operations and all the things that come together with the students, the teachers, and the industry. So right now we are going to talk about the future.
All right. Okay. Being Chinaman kind of a way of doing business, I would say. All right. Okay. So now there's number one issue is that there is a license. Right. In education, you cannot just simply open a center,
illegal,
or college, or anything at all. You cannot
anything, even a tuition center.
Correct,
you are subject to a lot of legislation problems.
Correct. So in the initial stage, actually, we do encounter a lot of problem with licensing, right?
Everybody has that problem, I believe.
Yeah, MOE, we have an issue with MOE, all right? So
Fire
we have
department.
those other than that, like MPSJ and so on, that was quite a simple one.
Yeah.
Right?
That
But
is,
the
they
MOE
don't
is
disturb you.
MOE
Right,
is the
the
most
issue.
difficult
I
part.
understand that from daycare to kindergarten to
correct.
primary, secondaries, all you have these license problems,
Yeah.
especially colleges and tuition centers.
Yes.
And
So
even
as you-
language centers.
Correct.
Yes.
Any centers at all.
Right.
So that's why you say that if you are going to the future, in fact, this year we have an intention of open a second center. All right. So capacity wise, we are actually at the max. All right. So now we have about 100 plus of students. All right. So and then you cannot cater. Then we are thinking of a second center. Now, issue back to the licensing, right? So if we are going to open a second center, it's not really we call it as a branch, and then we can just all right. Okay.
It's everything start fresh.
We have to start
Separate
a
center.
fresh
It's a
again.
separate-
But at least we have the experience. All right,
Right.
We're going through that kind of a so-called struggling, right? So but that is the experience. But if you are talking about in the future, perhaps, of course, in the business, when the business is doing good, I have to expand a new center. I need a manpower. So we always have in our mind, it's not only the licensing part, also the manpower. But if actually, when I was talking to my partner at the one time, we were just joking that perhaps we can open a college and then compete with Taylor College,
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not?
Some small,
Everybody starts small.
Education
Yeah.
institutions that started very small.
And we
for
have some
example.
personal friends who just started from a very small
Yeah, they
first
can
floor
go
shop
into
office.
very big.
Correct.
Now that grows into so big that they have their own college, they have their own buildings.
Correct.
It's all starts small. It
Even
doesn't matter.
kindergartens can go listed.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. So we will.
If
we
you
might
set
be
your
joking
dream
lah,
big
but
enough.
it's like a dream. Okay. So I say, okay, let's take one step at the time. All right. So let's open a second center. Right. So so that is our coming this 3 years kind of plan. All right.
Right,
Okay.
yeah. So guys, you're listening to CP Tay. He's telling you about how to run a tuition center. And CP, this station is listened to by all the other countries in ASEAN.
Oh,
There are
I
10
see.
countries,
There are 10
as well
countries.
as Europe and US.
All right,
So,
all right, okay.
Our problems in Malaysia may not be the same as countries like
Yeah.
Brunei, Singapore,
Yes.
Thailand. They may have less licensing problems. Or
There's
they
always a
even have
different
more than us.
posture outside of Malaysia. Yeah. And as you expanded, what are the so-called marketing drive that you actually deploy to grow in your students?
All right. So but maybe perhaps I will say that due to our very
Word of mouth.
strategic location. All right.
And popular teachers.
So and the teachers, of course. Yeah, the students actually just go out and then they can take a look at our center. We have a big kind of signboard.
Just walk
Right.
across
Yes.
from the campus.
From the campus. So at the moment, we do not really employ any kind of advertising or maybe even not even a blog. Our Facebook is not really what we would expect it to be.
I think CP, it's time for
I
you to
think-
expand.
So I think so far today's show is CP's first exposure
Yeah.
to the public.
in promoting his business.
correct.
So
It is-
maybe we have been talking for like almost 40 minutes. We
Yeah.
yet to know what's the name of your tuition center.
Okay. Our center is a A-star tuition center. All right.
A-star.
A-star.
A-dash
all right,
star.
okay.
A-star. That means
So
all
in-
the students will get A's.
Yeah.
for the
That is the
exam.
idea.
That's the idea.
That was the idea.
Uh-huh.
But actually, when you register in Malaysia, you have to put a Malay name. All right.
Right,
So
right.
we call it Alpha Bintang.
Alpha
Ah.
Bintang.
All right. So A stands for
A-star.
Alpha. All right.
Mm.
Because I'm a maths teacher, so I put Alpha.
Right, yeah.
So Alpha Bintang. So that is the name of the.
Very soon you'll open a Beta Bintang.
Beta Bintang.
Maybe perhaps the second one.
Alpha,
Yeah.
Alpha square.
But Beta is not good. Beta is B.
Yeah.
Oh, B students no good.
Alpha
Yeah.
square.
Right,
Mm.
right.
Alpha square.
Alpha square. Okay.
So in this sense, as you opened a second center,
Yeah.
so there will be additional resources.
Correct,
Do you
correct.
see that yourself is actually facing bigger issues or bigger
The main
challenge?
problem is still manpower, right?
Yeah, I see that the second center is becoming easier. I think any businessman will tell you that
Right.
it's because
You already have the experience.
the experience. The first stage is the most scariest part.
Yes.
Once you
and-
go through the kind of fear, all right, every other things is just an operational issue
and
where
there's
you can
a
be solved. It can be
transfer
solved.
of cost.
Correct.
You
You may
have more or less developed a system of running
you
the
have
operations.
a system, all right. It's a lot of try and error in the first stage, all right. So no one actually teaching us how to open one.
Well, we started our business with Andrew. I mean, Andrew and myself started
Yeah.
business. Nobody teaches us much.
Correct.
The
We
only way,
prepared the SOP ourselves.
yes,
Yeah.
the only way that teaches us is that wash our pocket.
Yeah. Like if I say there's a second center, I do encounter a lot of problems. All right. But I don't see that as a problem. I see that as obstacles that can be solved.
Right.
All right. So being a businessman, you have to be very optimistic. All right. And so you do your homework, that kind of thing. It's like you just do it, no? All right. That is the scary part. All right.
So after opening the second one,
Yeah.
okay, do you see yourself will be more involved in running the business or more involved into teaching?
I still like to maintain my teaching part, honestly. All right. Okay. So because I am no longer working, all right. So running the operational part, it actually is when the center expanded, you can actually employ someone to run the center.
Yes.
Right. You don't really
Right.
have to run the center yourself. Right. We always have a center manager, that kind of thing. All right.
Yes.
Okay. But the teaching part is always in me. So I want to be still part and parcel of the teaching part. Right.
So besides expanding into more branches or maybe more different
Yeah,
locations,
correct.
would you foresee yourself expanding into other subjects like science?
Actually, our tuition center is we are actually focusing in science subjects for A level. It's not only maths, all right? It's
great.
not only maths. It's not
Yeah,
a maths
because
center.
maths and science are quite related.
Yeah. We have biology, all right? So we have biology, chemistry, physics, all right? So the three lecturers are one of the most popular lecturer, in fact.
That's
all right?
great.
Okay, so they are very, very sought after.
Right.
So we have maths teacher, all right? So maths lecturers, which not me. I don't teach maths. I teach further maths. So I do get a partner to teach maths. For a second center, of course, we are actually duplicating, I would say, all right, doing the same thing. It says that we cannot be running 2 centers.
Right.
So we have to employ someone from perhaps other colleges or whoever at all that we want to get those kind of lecturers that they can hold on to themselves and work independently, I would say.
Great.
All right?
Okay. CP, can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Would you like to employ me and give me a job in a center to teach English?
Okay. Actually at the moment we do not offer English. All right. So
that's a wonderful opportunity for me.
Correct.
And in fact, throughout these years, as we go along, we found that I went back to school now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm studying now.
All right,
so
okay.
actually, I'm studying exercise science, and within the class, a lot of my classmates, which is much younger than myself, almost like 30 years younger than me.
Right.
So one problem they face is English.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
And,
our
in terms-
country, everybody
In terms
face
of
problem.
and during the exam, when they look at the exam paper, they actually blank because they don't understand the English. So I would say English is very crucial whether you are teaching maths or science, because
CP, it's time for you to set up a branch.
or rather an appendix. We can put it appendix. And
why not? It's actually in fact, all right, Andrew. All right, so I will say that why not? It's just that my focus is our specialty. So we specialize and focus in the A level, and then A level do not offer English. We assume the students know English, A lot of students, some of our students, their English is not so well versed, right? So they might affect their result. Actually,
during our days, our impression of A levels are just accountancy, bookkeeping, statistics, law, and economics. But I didn't know that nowadays A levels also covers science subjects as well.
In fact, it's our majority of our students are a science subject. Right, most of the Sunway or Taylor or even Inti, they are actually focusing on the science subject.
So, like Mr. Tay, you don't mind if you've been mentioning about so-called further max. Maybe you can just elaborate to our parents. A lot of parents wouldn't understand what is further max is all about.
Sure, about the subject.
Does that
Mathematics is a little bit more difficult than normal maths.
A bit more difficult.
With some practical
does
applications.
that path leads them to become actuaries or statisticians?
So
or
that
in
is
that
a
sense?
bit more on the academic part. All right. So you see a lot of lecturers, a lot of universities nowadays. I would say that they have that kind of requirement. All right. They still use the word optional, but it's becoming a requirement that the students have to take further maths in order to apply university. You see, in maths, as we all know it, is not that difficult. All right? All the students are taking, and they are scoring A's. Scoring A's nowadays, scoring A and A star nowadays is like everyone is doing it anyway.
So it's become a common factor already.
It's a very common factor. So now they could put an A star. Okay, it's recently about 2-3 years ago they put an A star. That also a lot of students are getting an A star. So they actually want a bit higher for a cutting, especially those good universities. All right, so
higher standard.
Yeah, higher standard
of mathematics.
Yeah, correct. All right, those good universities, they will definitely need to take further maths, even though it's a complementary kind of subject. All right, you will have to take this further maths, and you may not need to score A star, but at least an A to apply. Yeah, all right, to the good universities. All right, so but it's still not compulsory. It's still not compulsory kind of subject that you must take it to do actuarial or maybe
best to take it lah.
You are going to sit for the first year in the first year uni. You're going to sit for the subject. You will be struggling if you don't take the further maths. You see? All right. So more and more students actually nowadays are taking the subject. Even though I would say, it's a little bit difficult. All right. But every students, I believe, if they work for it, they are not stupid enough.
That's why during
they can still make it.
Yeah, they can
during
make
our
it.
days when you are in the sixth form, they ask you to take double max.
Double maths.
So these are the
correct. I was from double maths.
Right.
So,
Okay, so we would like to thank Mr. Tay for all the wealth of information.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, one last question for Mr. Tay.
Yeah, sure.
What would you like to see your business or your venture do for you personally?
One fine day, I will say when I retired, I will say that at least I have achieved what
Your
I want to
passion.
do, my passion, correct. You know, so beside the sort of giving me that kind of financial comfort, I would say, but the legacy, I would say, all right,
Legacy,
they-
yeah.
on my side, it's being a lecturer. I say that, oh wow, this is what I have contributed.
Leave behind a legacy for your
Correct,
children to
correct.
talk about.
Yeah, maybe perhaps, yeah. That is what I would think of. Yeah.
That is really wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. CPT, for being here with us
Welcome,
today.
welcome.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have. We hope you have enjoyed our show, and we'll be back with a brand new story for our Durian main story on ASEAN BIZ in the next edition.
Maybe before we close our show, Mr. Tay would like to give
His contact or website.
a website to our
Yes,
listeners.
too much business right now.
Okay.
Okay, so now actually, as I say, that our A-Star, all right, is a A-Star Tuition Center, all right, it's located at SS15 Subang Jaya, all right, Jalan 15/8A, all right. So it's just nearby Asia Cafe, all right, where at
And upstairs of
upstairs of nearby Starbucks, all right.
Okay.
Where this
It's
is
a very prominent place.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
very
we do
happening
have a
place.
Facebook. That is the only thing. All right, we have a Facebook. all right?
Look for CPT.
Yeah,
Right.
no, look for
No,
A-Star.
A-Star, okay.
All right, okay. Yeah, yes,
Thanks, Mr. Tay, for
Welcome,
coming into our
welcome.
studio
Thanks a lot.
today. For
great.
our listeners who missed out some of the information, can actually look up on our page
Website.
to check out the informations. And once again, thank you, Mr. Tay, and our
Thank you.
listeners. Thank you and goodbye, and see you all next
Bye.
edition.
Bye, bye. Thank you.
You're now listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.